What if the things you've always seen as your biggest flaws, like, say, constant anxiety or overthinking, aren't actually flaws at all? Today, we're going to look at them through a whole new lens, as signs of a powerful, high-processing mind.
So let me just ask you this. Have you ever found yourself mentally rehearsing a simple, everyday conversation before it even happens? If you're not in your head right now, then you are in exactly the right place. Because that's not just anxiety. It's a key sign of how your brain is wired to see the world. This right here, this lays out our entire idea perfectly. What society, and maybe even you, has labeled as anxiety is really a powerful form of mental simulation. What gets dismissed as overthinking? Well, that's actually deep processing. And being seen as indecisive? That's a sign of high-level cognitive control. We're talking about a completely different blueprint for thinking.
So let's dive into our first sign, running future scenarios. You know what I'm talking about, that constant movie reel playing in your head, exploring all the possible what-ifs for something that hasn't even happened yet.
And this is where things can get mixed up. To the outside world, all that planning can look a lot like indecisiveness or just straight-up anxiety. But what's really going on under the hood is this incredibly sophisticated process of mental simulation. Your brain isn't stuck. It's gathering data, it's mapping out possibilities, and it's showing a really high level of social awareness by getting ready for what's next. There's actually a formal psychological term for this. It's called counterfactual thinking. It's basically your brain's amazing ability to imagine different outcomes, to test drive ideas and predict consequences without any of the real-world risk. So the key here is, this isn't just daydreaming. It's how you build insights that most people completely miss.
Okay, let's move on to sign number 2, and you'll see how this connects. It's the tendency to pause, to really think before you react, especially when things get tense or catch you by surprise. And again, this one is so easily misinterpreted. In a heated moment, people might see you as being cold or unresponsive, maybe even a bit aloof. But in reality, your brain is doing something pretty remarkable. You're not shutting down. You are intentionally shifting gears, putting yourself into a logical reasoning mode. It's a really deliberate act of cognitive control. This mechanism actually has a name. It's called System 2 dominance. Think of it like this. Your brain has a fast, automatic System 1 for gut reactions, and a slower, more analytical System 2 for deep thought. Well, your brain is really good at hitting the pause button on those emotional impulses and letting System 2 take the lead. It's a powerful kind of self-regulation.
I love this quote because it just nails it. It's not because you have nothing to say, it is because you are mentally zooming out, evaluating the consequences, and deciding on the smartest response. See, it's about strategy, not silence.
Okay, on to our third sign, seeing hidden connections. This one's for anybody who's ever made an observation that left other people in the room kind of wondering, how in the world did you even think of that? This cognitive superpower is called associative integration. It's the ability to connect ideas from totally different worlds, like art and science, and maybe a conversation you had yesterday, and merge them all into a brand new, often surprising insight. Your mind is just naturally built to look for those invisible bridges. And here's how that actually feels in day-to-day life. Because your brain is constantly connecting everything, you crave depth. You just can't take things at face value. You're always noticing those subtle patterns in how people act and what they say. You're reading between the lines, trying to understand the why behind something, not just the what. All right, sign number 4 is the need for challenge. If you get bored way faster than most people, and I mean, it's almost physically painful to deal with repetitive tasks, this one is definitely for you. This chart shows you exactly what's going on. See that tiny little bar for repetitive tasks? Yeah, your brain gets almost no reward from that. But look at the bar for complex challenges. It shoots through the roof. That's where your brain really lights up. This isn't about being lazy. It's about finding the right kind of fuel for your engine. And here's the science. Your mind isn't lazy. It is literally starving for deeper mental stimulation. When a task is too simple, your brain just stops releasing those rewarding chemicals like dopamine. So that feeling of frustration you get with boring routines, it's totally real. Your brain needs complexity to stay engaged. Now, these strengths are absolutely incredible, but they don't come for free. So let's talk about our final 2 signs, which we can really group together under one powerful idea, the price of depth. So first, you are constantly questioning your own thinking.
You're always reviewing your choices, checking yourself for bias. It's like thinking about your own thoughts. And second, your mind just rarely slows down. It's on, automatically analyzing things even when you're just trying to rest. And these two things are deeply, deeply connected. That constant self-questioning, it's so easy to mistake that for insecurity, but it's not. It's actually a profound trait called intellectual humility. It means your drive to be accurate is way stronger than your ego's need to be right. It's that awareness of what you don't know, and that awareness is the very engine of your growth. But the price for a mind that refuses to switch off is very real. This nonstop processing can lead to serious mental and emotional fatigue. It can make sleep feel impossible, and it's the reason you find yourself replaying conversations in your head days after they're over. It's so important to acknowledge this side of the coin too. And this brings us to the most crucial point of all. Your struggles are not flaws. They are simply the cost of depth. Just let that sink in for a second. You aren't broken. You aren't weird. You are simply wired for deep processing. So, the takeaway here is this. What you have isn't a diagnosis to be fixed. It's a blueprint of your cognitive architecture. And once you understand that blueprint, you can stop fighting against it and start building with it. Which leaves us with one final question for you. Now that you understand the blueprint, what are you going to build?